Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Lee Metro. I'll be interviewing Pastor Wilson, pastor of Jerusalem Church of God in Christ. Okay. How you doing?
Good and you today, Brother Mitch.
I'm doing fine. Thought this was a good idea to not broadcast, but to introduce you to potential visitors to the church and potential members, and we just wanted to give a little information about Jerusalem Church and about yourself. We're going to start off with, can you give us the mission of Jerusalem?
Our mission is to emulate the New Testament church. That means making disciples, building disciples for Christ. Disciples mean having individuals that are world changers, not just members, but actually active, working in the full gospel of what Jesus Christ taught in this New Orleans area and surrounding area.
Okay. What is the vision of Jerusalem?
Our vision is to network and to obtain the resources to carry out that mission. That means networking across denominational lines, across racial lines, across government lines. Any lines, any barriers that hinder us, we're willing to work across any type of lines to actually build the kingdom of God in this area and across this world, as a matter of fact. We're international in our vision, not just locally here in the New Orleans metro area.
Okay. And Matt, speaking of going across denominational lines and racial lines in particular, I was listening to a radio program and they said Sunday is the most segregated day of the week because black people tend to go to black churches, white people tend to go to white churches, and there is no cross. Do you see that as a problem, and how are we trying to address that problem?
It's a two-edged sword. It can be a problem. People have a tendency to go where they feel comfortable, where they feel familiarity, similarities. We're trying to break that, in that we want people to feel comfortable being in the presence of the Lord, reaching across denominational lines, reaching across racial lines, socioeconomic lines. God's church is an all-inclusive place, not a only if place, exclusive, but it's inclusive. So that's what we're trying to do, and that's what we work and strive to do in the New Orleans metro area, and the partnerships and the fellowships that we have. We don't care about your socioeconomic status. We don't care about your racial status. All we care about is that there's a concern for your soul, and Jesus Christ is the answer for that.
Okay. And just kind of continue on with that. You sent me to a seminar that was pretty much conducted by white Christians, fellow Christians, and I think my wife went to another seminar that was conducted by white Christians. We also had, during our Bible Institute, we had a guy come in who was a white Christian, and he gave us and he talked about some stuff that they were doing in the church and their missionary work, and I think that was a way we can try to break down those racial barriers. All right, we have a little brief history of Jerusalem. Can you talk about how Jerusalem came to pass, and where you see us going in the future?
The founder of our church, the church is about to celebrate our 52nd year. The founder was Pastor Breckenridge, Superintendent Albert Breckenridge. The first location was not this present location, but I'd say about 6 blocks from here on Washington Avenue. It was affectionately labeled the hole in the wall because there was only one way in and one way out. And it was a few members that he started with, but he had a vision of furthering the gospel, building the kingdom. And from that location, we came to this location. This is not the original building. And we went through Betsy. We've gone through a number of storms, Katrina also. But in the process, we've been resolved in our mission and our purpose for being here and walking in our destiny. And that's to bring about a difference and a change in the area that we're located in, first here at home and then abroad. I've only been pastoring now for 21 years, but it's been a fun 21 years. It's been informative. It's been a learning experience for me, and that's the thing that I really value out of that. It's been a learning experience for me, how to trust in the Lord and to understand the potential of God's people if you just let God work in them.
Now, where do you see the church going in the next 5-10 years?
We have a number of things that we're doing to actually bring the vision to fruition, to pass. We have a multi-purpose center that we're working on. This is for the community, not just for the church. We have a number of projects we're working on. Another one is actually we're trying to acquire the properties in the neighborhood. One property in particular we're looking at is possibly a clinic, a health clinic for Children's Hospital. We're going to sit down and have talks with them. We're trying to do as much as we can to help rebuild our neighborhoods and rebuild our communities. Since the devastation of Katrina, but even before the devastation of Katrina, there was a storm brewing in the black neighborhoods and in our urban setting that was basically destroying our families, destroying our communities, and it affected our churches. So we are taking an active role in trying to build, not only build buildings, but we're really trying to build people's lives, empower them with programs that just reach across the gamut, not only spiritual but also natural as well.
Yeah, touching on building people's lives. You know, a lot of black men, they generally get caught up in the criminal justice system. And once you get caught up in the criminal justice system, once you go to prison, especially you spend some time in prison, pretty much your life is, I won't say ruined, but it becomes harder to get reacclimated into society once you're released. And I know we're working on a program in terms of the re-entry program. Can you speak on it?
Yes, we have a program that just started with Carolyn Tilton. We're working in conjunction with Orleans Parish Prison, Sheriff Guzman, as well as we've just received word that we will be working with Angola Prison. That's a state prison here in Louisiana, and a commitment by the warden that we'll be going up there to talk to him. The program we've affectionately named is the 900 for 900. There are over 900 inmates that are going to be released this year. So we took on the challenge of mentoring those 900 men by matching 900 mentors, life coaches as we call them, training and mentoring them for the next year, and actually they start the program within the prison system and it continues outside the prison system. So we have the commitment from a number of pastors in the metro area to work and have their young men as well as young women later down the road to work with them and to give them the life skills and to give them a connection with Jesus Christ through the church, not only them but also their family, to let them know that they're not in this alone, they've paid their dues to society, and this is another opportunity for a fresh beginning, a fresh start, and not only become productive citizens, but also become a child in the kingdom, working to help better the lives of people around them.
Okay. Yeah, and once they come back to the world, I was also listening to the radio program today, and they said a stat that 90% of the people incarcerated, they read at or below a 4th grade level. How do we address that once they come in? Do we have programs so where we're going to teach them how to read, give them the skills that, today as a computerized society, do we have those programs that we can give them those skills?
Yes, we do. That's one of the areas that we're addressing. Many of them read below a 4th grade level, and we actually have a computer center, and we have several educators that are members of our church, one being our First Lady. She's the director of our education department. She's been a teacher now for something like 20 years, and we're addressing those issues. Reading is fundamental, and teaching and empowering them with reading skills. It will further equip them and give them the confidence that they need to go out and not only take care of their families, take care of themselves, but do the will of the Master. The Bible says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." So this will open up a whole new world for them. Not only will they learn, but they'll also develop computer skills, because it's a computer center. We live in the information age, so just about everything is done on the computer. So we want them to be as literate as possible, not only so they can use their skills to make a living, but also they use their skills to help further the kingdom and help empower somebody else.
Yeah, I think this is all great, and getting that once they're released back into the society. But how do we prevent them from going into jail? What are the steps that we're taking in terms of crime prevention and economic development and tutoring, making sure they're staying on the track and graduating college? Or graduating high school and going on to college?
Many of them may have to get their GED, and we will have a remedial education facet to the program, helping with their math skills, helping with their reading skills, also helping them with soft skills. Many times, you have to understand a lot of these offenders have some can be career criminals. They don't know what it is to call in and say, look, I'm going to be sick today. They may call in a day and figure that'll suffice for the rest of the week. We're going to be working with them one-on-one, giving them these skills, empowering them. We also have a commitment there, most people are unaware, but the Louisiana prison system has training. One of the things that some of the inmates, clients as we call them, our clients will have, a number of them will have skills. Some of them are going to be certified as automobile mechanic, diesel mechanics. Also, Sheriff Guzman here in our local area, we have a commitment from the Merchant Marines to hire these guys and to get them out of the environment after we've sat down with them, get Jesus in their life, get Christ in their life, understand that Jesus is the focus of their life, that's the center of their life. Many of them, they've lived from materialism, just that their way about achieving their goals has been not only against the law, but against God's principles. So what we're trying to do is give them a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, understand that, this stuff works. It works.
Now, how do we reach the younger generation, the 5, 6, 7, 10-year-olds, 11, before they turn to that life of crime? How do we start to reach them? And I know it all starts with pretty much starts at home. And just to talk, I think economic development is a great way, because even at 6, 7, 8 years old, it's good to have that person in your life that you can go to. But if you're going home and the lights are off because your parents can't work, it becomes easy to get on the street. So how do we stop that whole cycle?